Yo, what's going on with ya YouTube? Jumpman Chris coming back at y'all with another vid, guys. Alright, so we got the upcoming Air Jordan 1 Low Chicago with that big old swoosh right there. Alright, so for today's video, man, we're going to do some comparison. We're going to talk about quality of the Air Jordan 1 Low Chicagos. We're going to talk about sizing, durability, quality, all that good stuff. And we're going to compare them to the other Chicagos, you know, like shaping wise, size, you know, all that, and quality. And then of course we'll compare them to other Air Jordan 1 Low. Now, first things first, what I will say about the quality of the lows, of the leather I should say, is actually pretty freaking nice. It's pretty close to, let's say, the black toes, like the way how this leather is, but it's not nearly as soft compared to right here. See that side panel? It's soft, don't get me wrong, but it's still kind of stiff, but it's decently soft. But it's not nearly as these. It's basically the same, say, the 2015. Pretty close to it. Not exactly alike though, because different eras, different year. But still nice, pretty soft, I would say that. One thing I also say is that the red, look at the reds here. You see, this one's a little bit brighter, I will say that. It's a little bit darker, I want to say. It seemed like maybe because it's brand new, but the lows, the leather, the red is a little bit more glossier than the other Jordan Chicagos that I do have that came out. Like this is like a matte right here, the Lost and Founds. 2015, there's a little bit of a gloss to it, but not too much. This is actually a real soft leather. I just totally forgot how good these were. But of course, if we were to compare them to, say, the black toes that came out a couple years prior, this is all matted out, and even the leather here, I'll say it's kind of similar to the black toes, really. But these are a little bit softer. This is just a little bit thicker. But yeah, the red is a little off, as you guys can see. This one's a little bit darker, it's a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, more vibrant, I will say. Now, of course, the big question is how big is that Nike swoosh right there? You know, we've been wanting that blown up Nike swoosh on the lows, as we've been complaining about all the other past ones. I mean, they're not terrible. I mean, it is kind of regular on the regular OGs. It's basically the same as the highs, as you guys can see. And even I brought out even the mochas to do a little bit comparison. Now we're going to compare these to the new Chicago ones. Look at the sizing difference as the Nike swoosh. That's a good interpretation I just got right here. Pretty massive, I will say that. It is pretty big, it's a little bit more blown up, a little bit of sizing, but that's the big difference. Say quality on these Air Jordan 1 Low Chicagos is actually pretty good, I will say that. It's actually really nice, leather's really nice, quality, craftsmanship, everything about the shoe is immaculate. These things are perfect, honestly. These are definitely a must cop, you know, even if you don't like Air Jordan 1s, if you're just a sneakerhead fan, especially with a Chicago colorway, I definitely say it's definitely a must cop. You gotta have these in your collection some way, somehow. Let's take a look at toe box shape compared to 2015. Look how that hump is. Basically almost the same, very identical pretty much, because this one has a little swoop to it just like this, same as these. Now the difference compared to, let's say, the regular other Air Jordan 1 Lows, it's kind of close, but this is more like a flat right there. It's more bulky going on right there compared to this one. See that little slope? I would even say the toe box stands a little taller than some of the regular Air Jordan 1 Lows. Here we go, check it out here. You see, I see it. This is the mocha lows that I've gotten. This one is a new upcoming. So, pretty much close, pretty much the same, I will say that. About some toe box length, as you guys can see, pretty much the same. This might be a little bit more squared up a little bit on the newer one. We'll compare it to even the black toes, same thing. This one is a little bit more, black toes more narrow. This is a little bit more squared up on the toe box. I will say, maybe because I haven't, maybe on some of the newer Air Jordan 1 Lows, check this one out. So as you guys see, this is like a screen printed, and then the mochas, same thing, is more like a screen printed as well. But this is more like an embossed, like a stamp. As you guys see, there is some detail inside the wing logo. So it's just like how it is, let's say, not as close to this one. This one has more of like a stamp to it individually, like all the wings compared to this one. It's more like the older ones. Maybe pretty close to even this one. But as you see, the detail on that wing logo is actually so freaking nice. So it's not just a regular just screen print, it's actually stamped, embroidered in there. Looking out some of the other Air Jordan lows that I do have is just screen printed. As you guys can see, little gloss on that wing logo. This is the shadows that came out last year. And again, see that embossed on the wing logo? So very nice, man. Great detail on the lows. Tongue height is nothing too crazy. Basically the same as some of the other Air Jordan 1 lows as well. So nothing too crazy. The tag is basically maybe a little bit bigger on the Chicago's comparing. Oh, sorry. You guys can't see the laces right there. See how this tag up here is a little bit smaller. This one looks a little bit more blown up, I will say. And we'll take a look at the outsole. Basically, pretty much the same thing. This is the black toes. I worn these a ton. I worn these basically my dailies for a minute. I will say basically the same as, say, the Chicago lows. Obviously, these are a little bit older and worn, so these are a little bit more brighter. Haven't been worn yet. And then we have the Lost and Founds, but you guys see the difference between the Lost and Founds because it has that more oxidation look to it. So I will say the Chicago one, durability wise, these things will last you for a while. I mean, again, I worn these tons of time, tons and tons of time. I mean, the leather quality is basically dag near the same. So look how good these still look. Feels great. I mean, these are a little bit softer, these are a little bit stiffer, so they will last up. They probably won't crumble or anything. I mean, look, this is how I wear my mochas. I worn these too a ton of times. But no sneaker shields in these. I've just worn these just straight up, and I've worn these quite a bit. You see how the creasing is on here? So usually with Air Jordan 1s, yes, the creasing will usually go right around here, as always. And so it's depending on how much you walk on it and how much you do. I mean, mine's, since it's brand new, but it still looks like it has worn, it has a little bit of creasing to it, just a little bit already. But other than that, you don't have to really worry about anything else, like how it is with the highs. Like highs, you kind of have to worry about, say, the heels right here. It always creases up, you know, sometimes from, you know, you walk around a little bit too much or something. Creasing right here too as well. Lost and Founds, I know one thing about the Lost and Founds. You gotta be careful with this red leather, because once you do clean these, I do hear that some people, either their midsole bleeds or the cracked leather start to bleed, so you have to be very careful when cleaning these. Not exactly sure how the lows is yet, because I haven't cleaned them yet, I haven't worn them yet, so be aware. Sometimes with red shoes, the red dye might end up bleeding out, so just be careful of that if it does happen. Hopefully it doesn't. Now the big one, how do you guys do with sizing on Air Jordan 1 lows? Well, personally, I do feel like Air Jordan 1 lows do fit a little big. Some people say you can go about a half size down. I usually just personally go for my true to size, or whatever my Air Jordan 1 sizing is. I do like to wear about a 9.5. I'm more of a true 9, but I just go ahead and go about a 9.5 on almost all my Jordans, and that's just usually how it feels. Sometimes it feels a little loose, sometimes it feels just perfect. Just all kind of depends. But with Air Jordan lows, yes, it does feel a little bit of looseness to it. They basically feel exactly the same as, say, the black toes. Basically the same tech, same material, even with that whole foam-like insole. So a little bit of comfortability, like a foam pad to it. Still pretty comfortable, I will say that. I mean, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, it's an Air Jordan 1, so comfortability is not really there. We'll talk about that. But size, back to the sizing. I just say go about whatever you're comfortable with, whatever your Air Jordan 1 low sizing is. If you do have Air Jordan 1 lows, just go with it. It's basically the same how it is, say, with these. I mean, my mochas, I did end up going a size 9, and they fit kind of just perfect, like correct, like it's just snugged right in there. But the 9.5s, it gives a little bit of room. Not too much room, but just a little bit of room, which is fine because I do like the whole loose feel on my sneakers for me personally. Comfortability. So at the end of the day, it's an Air Jordan 1. All right, it's a low. Are they that comfortable? No. It's feels pretty flat, I will say that. It's not a lot of crazy padding, especially even on the ankle collars, as you guys can see. Very thin and very light, so not too much comfortability. Matter of fact, when my Air Jordan lows, since I do wear a 9.5, I probably should have worn them just a little bit tighter, because if you were to walk in lows all day long and not tie them up, they start to kind of feel loose and it kind of rubs, and that's how I had a little blister on one of my ankles one time, because I was wearing the Travis Scott lows, wearing them at a football game, walking into the stadium, walking out of the stadium. It was a good long walk. Yes, it gave me a little blister on my foot. Never again. And yes, I did wear in a thick ankle socks. Or thick high socks. Thought it would have been fine. Kind of not the case. So be aware of that, because this is how I like to wear my Air Jordan lows. I like to wear them kind of loosey goosey like this. But if you're gonna do a lot of walking around, especially in lows, you better have them tight. You better have them snug to your feet, because if they start to kind of be loose to your heels, it starts to rub. That's how you get blisters and sores. So just be aware of that. Be kind of careful on that. That's just how it is when I wear Air Jordan 1 lows. These, there's no give, it's very, very tight. So again, I say the lows is your best bet. So if you guys want to go true to size, like true to size, I say go for it. Or whatever the size is. Some people say go half a size down. I think true to size is just fine. It's just fine by me. I don't want to mess it up, especially I don't know how difficult these things are going to end up being. Could they sell out? Maybe. Holiday season, it is a Chicago 1. It is a Chicago colorway. So usually people go crazy for Air Jordan 1 Chicagos. But it being a low, I don't know. I feel like lows nowadays get a little bit more love than highs now. Or just in general, Air Jordan 1's just really not all that. Even if it is OG colorway and a Chicago colorway, these actually might sit. So we'll see how it goes once they do release. I don't know if they will or not, but I say just go whatever you guys can. If you guys want these, definitely just go day one. Don't mess around. Just go ahead and grab them, and I think you guys be fine. All right? Anyways, man, just a little my honest truth about these Chicago 1 Air Jordan 1 lows. How they doing, how they feeling, how they sitting, sizing, comfortability, and we did a little bit of comparison to, say, the Lost and Founds and also the 2015 pair. And I also threw in some of these lows here, just do a little bit comparison, the differences between, there are some differences, not much, but there are some differences, as leather quality, a little bit of shape is a little bit different. I will say, I do feel like the older ones, maybe it's just a little bit more narrow, it seems like, but overall, still a great shoe. Still love these things, man. These are my top holiday season of 2025 to release. All right. Anyway, guys, just want to say, guys, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. If you guys don't mind, please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if it's your first time here. Comment down below, and please hit that bell for all the notifications when I do drop vids. And don't forget to follow me on my social media at Chris on IG. I'm on Twitter, and don't forget Snapchat. I'm also on TikTok. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'm Chris. Push.